you're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Now on NBC Palm Springs at 11, weather whiplash across the country is disrupting holiday travel. Flights delayed and canceled, including right here in the Coachella Valley. We have those details ahead. Plus, 2 roads in Palm Springs have reopened following flooding from rain earlier this week. We have the details on which roads are open and which remain closed across the Coachella Valley ahead.
We're tracking gorgeous conditions this weekend, then building Santa Ana winds and the return of wet weather to start the new year. Your NBC Palm Springs starts now.
Now, connecting the valley, this is NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Good evening, I'm Tiani Jadaling. Thank you for joining us. It's weather ping pong this week as our storms have passed. Now Mother Nature is giving it to the northeast this weekend, and that's affecting holiday travel across the country. That's tonight's top story. That, of course, includes right here in the Coachella Valley. You're looking at some footage that was shot earlier this evening at the Palm Springs International Airport, specifically of that flight information display system. Travelers are seeing a lot of delayed or canceled flights this weekend. A look at the arrivals and departures boards online tell the story of the weather back east impacting travel here in the west. Flights inbound here from New York were struggling. An Alaska flight was canceled altogether. Even flights from Denver are delayed, likely because as flights are delayed and canceled, aircrafts aren't where they need to be, which causes another set of delays. On the departure side, much of the same story. Although there are delays and cancellations to Seattle-Tacoma today, again, likely due to aircraft not making it to the desert to then carry passengers out of the desert on later scheduled flights. So even with the sunny skies earlier this afternoon, if you did have travel plans out of PSP, you're encouraged to check online before you leave for the airport to make sure your flight is still happening. We're taking a live look now from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above downtown Palm Springs. The sky is definitely clear across the Coachella Valley all afternoon and evening, but we understand another storm is in the forecast just in time for New Year's Eve. Our Kai Beach is in the Weather Center with the details.
Happy Saturday, everyone. We saw some really wild weather over the last week and a half. About a week ago, we saw some record-tying heat. The last week, Christmas week, we saw rain across Southern California and some snow. As for today, it's cool, it's breezy, it's right below average. We got a low-pressure system that's going to impact this, and we will see some wet weather returning. I'll get to that in just a bit. The rainfall over the last few days, we saw anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to about 1 inch from Friday to Saturday morning. As for today, the highs, let's take a look. 69 in Palm Desert, 70 in Indio. We work our way up the hill. Joshua Tree, 54. Big Bear City, a cool 37 degrees. And in Idlewild, great time to go there, 42 degrees. For tonight's evening stroll, go out there and enjoy it. 6 o'clock, low 60s. And they're in the high 50s to mid 50s from 8 to around midnight. For tonight's lows, Palm Springs 50, east side of the valley, Indio 52, 29 Palms, 48, and Big Bear below freezing, 24 degrees. All right, take a look at this. The wind gusts, those will start to build as we head into the work week. We're looking at gusts nearly 40 miles an hour for Whitewater. Our friends in the high desert can get wind gusts of nearly 50 miles an hour. How much rain will we get to start the new year? This is from our chief meteorologist, Jerry Steffen. It starts Wednesday. Thursday looks like it's going to be the wettest day. I'll get more into that as we go deeper into the show. For tomorrow, another gorgeous day. Palm Springs, 70 degrees, head to the coast. There were some big waves. I just got back from Orange County, shoulder to head high. So if you're not an experienced swimmer, stay out the water. 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, low 70s, those overnight lows, low 50s, high 40s. I'll have a full forecast, including your wet weather New Year's Eve forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, we thank Kai for that weather report and more local news. After a few days of flooding seen here in the Coachella Valley and some road closures, we can now report that both Vista Chino and Gene Trail are both now back open after being cleaned up from the storm. That leaves just Indian Canyon still closed as crews continue working to clear the roadway from sand and debris from the storm there. That road has been shut down since Wednesday. We will, of course, keep you updated as roads continue to reopen. a series of new traffic and safety laws will take effect in the new year. According to the Assembly Bill 486, it's a misdemeanor to possess key programming devices or signal extenders with the intent to commit burglary, punishable by up to 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine. AB 544 requires e-bikes to display a rear red reflector or light at all times, while minors cited for helmet violations can complete an online CHP e-bike safety course. Local governments can now lower school zone speed limits from 25 to 20 miles per hour. Autonomous vehicles face new rules. Law enforcement can issue non-compliance notices to manufacturers. And starting July 1st, vehicles must include a two-way communication system for first responders. These measures aim to improve safety for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians across the state. And in news around the region, 3 days of heavy rain across Southern California caused flash flooding and mudslides. The mountain resort of Wrightwood was hit hard as rivers of mud damaged several dozen homes. Crews are digging out. Homes and cars were caked in mud. The San Bernardino County Fire Department says emergency teams rescued a couple dozen people who were trapped by high water and debris flows in their cars or homes, but no serious injuries were reported in Wrightwood. Still ahead here on NBC Palm Springs, gold is on a historic run. Its best year in more than 4 decades. What's driving the surge coming up? Plus, a performer walks away from a Christmas Eve show. Now the Kennedy Center president is threatening to sue. We have those details ahead. You're watching NBC Palm Springs. Stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Welcome back. From A-list stars to wealthy buyers looking for a fresh start, more and more Americans are calling Britain's idyllic Cotswolds region their home. The area is famous for its rolling hills and uniquely colored cottages. Anna Kubin took a trip there to find out why Americans want their own slice of English country life.
I'm here in the Cotswolds. It's a region in the west of England, and it is a quintessential slice of English country life. And despite the really grey, drizzly weather here today, this part of the world has become a big draw for Americans, buying properties and starting new lives here. So I've turned up to find out why.
I think the Americans have quite a romantic notion about the Cotswolds because of the honey-coloured stone and the cottages. I think they think everyone in England lives in a stone cottage.
I think it's all like this.
Yeah, and it's always sunny.
And tell me, there's this trend of more and more Americans moving to the Cotswolds recently. Is this something you've noticed?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's in the press here every day. I think the Brits are quite interested in the fleeing Americans.
The Cotswolds is a protected area of natural beauty. It's about 100 miles west of London. Hop on a train, and you're there in a couple of hours. That proximity, combined, of course, with those famous rolling hills, makes it a magnet for lots of famous people. For centuries, the region was at the centre of Britain's wool trade. Today, it is sprinkled with many well-known names. Kate Moss has had a place there since the early 2000s. Here's David Beckham digging up vegetables on his Cotswolds estate. But in 2024, US comedian Ellen DeGeneres really helped put the region on the map for Americans when she moved there with wife Portia de Rossi.
Over the last 12, 18 months, we've seen about 30% increase in the number of Americans registering with us, wanting help with their purchases. But it's not a cheap part of the world to buy in. There is a premium because it's an incredibly popular location. Really, you could look at anything from a smaller cottage for around £1 million through to sky's the limit.
Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Usual for you today?
Yes, please.
Thanks
so much.
Thank you.
It's been a 15-year dream in the making. My husband and I fell in love with the UK way of life. We loved the weather. We loved the architecture, the history, even the food. It looks quite a bit like home. I'm from Pennsylvania, so it's not that different as far as rolling gentle hills, fertile land.
The Cotswolds has quite a reputation in the UK for being very well-to-do. Has that been what you've experienced? How does the reality compare with the impression?
I think the impression's correct. These homes are much bigger than they look from the lanes, and they're very private. That being said, well-to-do means the people have wonderful etiquette, they're very inclusive, they have wonderful manners. Yeah, everyone's just been so friendly and so gracious. Everyone's very down to earth. They have a dog, they take walks, they come to the local pub. They're just people. Painswick feels like I went to bed and woke up in the middle of a Christmas Hallmark movie. The stone walls and the architecture, it just feels like comfort in a time when the world needs more of that. So we moved here in May, and it's been a dream.
You know, I think I understand what all the fuss is about now. Anna Kubin, CNN, The Cotswolds.
In consumer news, gold is having its best year since 1979. Gold's increase of 71% this year has far outpaced the S&P 500, which has risen by 18%. Expectations for some Fed rate cuts in 2026 are supporting gold's rise. A weaker U.S. dollar is helping boost the price too. It makes buying gold relatively more affordable for international investors. Gold is considered a resilient investment, with investors expecting the precious metal will retain its value if inflation surges, or if currencies drop in value. A plan by the struggling U.S. Postal Service to raise cash could cost the agency its biggest customer, and that's Amazon. USPS has a partnership with the online retail giant to deliver some orders to Amazon customers. The contract reportedly brings in about $6 billion a year, which the agency can't afford to lose. But now the post office plans to accept bids from other shippers for access to the service's distribution centers. That's surprising news to Amazon. An Amazon spokesperson says the uncertainty might push the company to stop using USPS as much, and that Amazon is evaluating all of its options. We're taking a live look now from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Your full forecast with Kai Beach is next.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website.
Welcome back. We're taking a live look from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera in Rancho Mirage. Not too many people out there. Kai Beach is in the Weather Center with your full forecast.
Well, it's the final weekend of 2025. Hello, 2026. And we're going to start the new year with some rain. I'll get to that in just a bit. Today's high, 66 degrees. Normally it's 68 degrees. So right below average for this time of year and not near that record high of 85 degrees. Take a look at this. The dew point relative humidity, that drops as we head into Monday. It's going to ramp right back up midweek because we're going to see a low pressure system building, and that's going to return rain to Southern California. When it comes to air quality, we're deemed moderate here in the Coachella Valley, parts of the IE, LA, and OC. They are looking good. For the highs today, up there in Big Bear City, good time to grab your snowboard or skis, 37 degrees. Cabazon Bargain Shopping, 55. Indio 70, Joshua Tree 54. Tonight, it's going to drop down to the low 50s here on the valley floor. Banning 45, and Idlewild a cool 40 degrees. We might have some of the best weather in the country happening right here in our beautiful desert community. Let's take a look at a lot of people coming to the valley. This is the weather they're leaving behind. Denver, the mile high city, we're looking at low 60s. Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Billings, Montana, both 37. Seattle, a cool 43. And our friends in the Bay, we're looking at mid 50s. For tomorrow's morning walk forecast, grab a jacket, go out there and enjoy it. 6 o'clock, 50 degrees. By 10, we're in the low 60s, and at noon, just under 70 degrees. For tomorrow, we got a mixed bag up here, 50s, 60s, and 70s. The high, Palm Springs, Mecca, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, and Thermal, all coming in at 70. And the coolest, we're looking at Idlewild, 55 degrees. For Sunday, it's going to be cool and drier. Temperatures drop just a bit from where they are today. We're going to go into the new year with some wet weather. Let's take a look. 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Sunday through Tuesday, low 70s. Wednesday, that's when the rain starts, and it's going to get really wet by Thursday and Friday. Next weekend, though, clear skies.
A new location has been spotted for our holiday light special. Sandy Claus and Scotty the Retired Elf bring us more.
City, which is maybe the most Christmassy place in the world. Sandy, look at this tree. a mother lode.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Welcome back. Earlier tonight, the Coachella Valley Firebirds went head-to-head with the reigning Calder Cup champions, the Abbotsford Canucks. The thrilling matchup had both teams going shot for shot until a game-winning goal in overtime. Our Tim O'Brien joins us from inside Acrisure Arena with all the details.
Oh, a 3-2 Firebirds win in overtime tonight here inside Acrisure Arena. It's always weird. You see, after a break, team comes back after a few days off. There's always a little bit slow, sloppy play, but wasn't necessarily the case to begin the game. About the first 5 or 6 minutes or so, the Firebirds certainly the better team on the ice. They went and took a 1-0 lead off the stick of Mitchell Stevens. And then after that, it kind of went downhill. Just truthfully speaking, the Firebirds maybe not as sharp as head coach Derek Laxdal would have liked them to be. But the bend don't break mentality of the Firebirds continued tonight. After tying the game at 1 for Abbotsford, the Firebirds had a 2-1 lead going into the third period. Certainly a rough second period, but a young team that has that mental fortitude to continue to move forward and have, of course, a lead going into the final frame. You'll sign up for that every day of the week. Now, fast forward, Abbotsford would go ahead and tie the game at 2. So you had goals off the stick of Mitchell Stevens and Andre Lashko, his first of the season. Abbotsford then tying the game late in the third period at 2 to force overtime. But then overtime, it's Logan Morrison who's leading the team, his 14th of the season, an absolute snipe. About as good as of a shot as you'll see, giving the Firebirds a 3-2 victory, a massive 2 points. The Firebirds staying in 5th place in the Pacific Division with 34 points, but just 2 points behind all the way up to 2nd place. Head coach Derek Laxdal, he'll take the 2 points, needs to see some areas improve, but he's happy with the win tonight.
I think the first 5 or 6 minutes we had a really good start to the game. I think we caught them without their legs. They weren't into it yet, and then we got the first goal. Then they got going a little bit. And that's a veteran team. They're starting to get their bodies back now. You see how good they're going to be. But give our guys a lot of credit. We didn't break in the second period. Our fourth line got a big goal for us. Great forecheck there by Ian McKinnon, and Losh goal converted on it. And we just we looked like we still had some of the carrying a little bit of turkey and a little bit of dessert around with our group there. So yeah, at the end of the day, we got to 2 points and move on till tomorrow.
Well, a quick turnaround for the Birds, who at this point are on their way to Henderson. They'll take on the Silver Knights tomorrow night just outside of Vegas before returning back home Wednesday here at Acrisure Arena. It'll be New Year's Eve, so the indoor fireworks show happening after the game. Puck drop at 5 o'clock. Look forward to seeing everybody out here at Acrisure Arena. A good 3-2 overtime win for the Firebirds. I'm Tim O'Brien. That'll do it in sports.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
The president of the Trump Kennedy Center has threatened to sue a performer who called off a Christmas Eve performance. The annual Christmas Eve jazz concert at Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center didn't happen this year. It was canceled by the show's host, Chuck Red, after President Donald Trump's name was added to the center just last week. In a statement, Red said he chose to cancel the event when he saw the change of signage. On Friday, the center's president, Richard Grinnell, criticized Red's move. In a letter first obtained and published by the Associated Press, Grinnell called Red's decision a political stunt and intolerant. Grinnell added that the center will seek $1 million in damages. You're watching NBC Palm Springs. We're back right after the break.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate. Talking with Thalia. Kai, the Deal Guy. And Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere.
A zoo in Tacoma, Washington is celebrating 2 new otters. A new Asian small-clawed otter was born to first-time parents at Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium just last month. The zoo says the pup is most likely male and developing well. You see him there on your screen. The otter has not yet been named. The zoo also recently welcomed a male of the same species. His name is Yuki. He was brought there as part of the breeding program and paired with a female at the zoo. The pair have been getting along well, that's so far. The zoo notes Asian small-clawed otters are the smallest of the world's 13 otter species. They are native to southern India, China, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Well, some cute otterness just before we go. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening.